So welcome back, everyone, to week 2 of our group, and I'm really curious to hear how the homework went, or the next steps that you decided that you were going to try out this week. Anyone can start.
Well, I'll go ahead, actually.
Sure.
Yeah. So I remember last week I said I was going to try and make dinner after I put Jake down, and it was a really good idea, and especially after group last week I felt really motivated. I thought I could do it, but then Jake, we just had this really awful day. Like I took him to the mall and he was just crying the whole time, and everyone was staring at me, and then like my credit card got rejected at the checkout, and then he was just being so difficult all day, and then finally he fell asleep on the couch, and it was like the longest day ever, and the last thing I wanted to do was make myself dinner, and my pack of cigarettes just sitting there, and so I put my feet up, and like it was just so nice to look over at Jake, see him finally peace and quiet. I've settled down after a day like that day, and it just felt so good to put my feet up and have a cigarette.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Are you kidding me? You smoked in front of your kid?
Well, he was asleep.
Your kid was in the room and you were smoking in front of him? That's disgusting.
Okay, maybe, why don't we just maybe take a time out?
No, that's disgusting. Like, you said your kid has asthma.
Okay, so Maddie, just let's take a time out for a second. So I can see you're pretty upset, but I see that's pretty upsetting to Haley as well. One of the things about groups is there's kind of two things going on. One is content, what people are saying. The other is the process, how it's said, how people feel. So Haley, I want to check in with you. What was it like sharing what you just shared and hearing Maddie's reaction?
Well, I don't know. I thought, last week it seemed like we all kind of were on the same page. Some of us thought smoking was good, and some of us thought it was bad, and I don't know, I felt really good after group last week, and I thought this would be the place that I could share, kind of like, I smoke beside a window, and I try really hard to keep my son away from it. I really want to be a good role model. I do, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, so pretty upsetting. And Maddie, what were your intentions when you reacted to Haley?
Well, I mean, like, I've shared in group before that, like, my mom had a stroke, which was directly caused by her smoking, and, like, Haley said in the past that her child has asthma, like, maybe that's related to her smoking, and for her to just, like, just smoke in front of her kid without even thinking about it beforehand, like, I don't know, I think it's awful. I mean, like, Sal, he said that he's going to go out on the balcony because his wife's pregnant because he doesn't want to harm his wife or his kid. I mean, like, that's so a huge step, and he was like, doesn't even want to be here. And then, like, Haley's smoking in front of her baby.
He was asleep.
Yeah, so, well, let's come back to this for a second, but can I just check in with how others are feeling? Because we talked last week that it's really okay to challenge each other, but we also talked about kind of how we do that. So, wondering how others are feeling.
I can speak as a mother myself. I have 2 kids, as you know, and I know how difficult it is to do the right thing all the time. And sometimes you make a mistake. I mean, she's human, and I don't think we should really judge her on that. As long as you learn from it and you don't do it again. I mean, your son does have asthma.
And it's not easy for me to go on the balcony as easy. I've slipped up this week a couple times too and got into a fight with my wife, so who am I to say anything? We're all just trying here.
I was just going to say that the tension here was going to make me want to smoke, but
That's how I feel.
right?
Because when conflict happens and people are feeling uncomfortable, smoking is a way to kind of get rid of that. Jerome?
I don't know. I just thought this group got interesting all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, and I guess, Haley, I want to check in and make sure that you're kind of feeling okay, because you took a risk in sharing something that you weren't proud of, and you said that you felt like this group was a place where you really could take those risks, and that it would be a safe place to do that. So I wonder what people's thoughts are of what can we learn from sort of what just happened, and make this be a safe place where we can bring it to this group. This is the one place, even if there's no other place right now in our lives, that we can talk about smoking and how that's affecting others in a way that maybe we're not feeling too proud of or feeling too good about.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like if I disclose something